plan for the day is I'm going to show you very quickly how to get through the cell anatomy assignment that I'm expecting you all to do. So first thing first is this is where the starter question is going to be. All right, hopefully you've already figured that out and we're directed to go there. So we got the starter question right here. Prokaryotes / bacteria sometimes have this to help them move. We've talked about that. Even if you forgot about it, you can always come back to it because the assignment that we're going to do is going to help. You need to complete the cell anatomy assignment. Okay, that's what the plan is today. If you all get done with that and you are rowdy and the substitute gets upset with you, then you'll have to do extra work. I will just say that, hey, you have extra work to get done, or I'll let the substitute do that. I don't hopefully see that happening, but that is an option. I will post that right now. Schoology. Oh, what do you know? There it is right there. I will. That is what you will have to do if you are rude or disrespectful to the sub. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to show you how to get through the cell anatomy assignment. So you're going to click on the cell anatomy assignment. It is going to load and it's going to pull this up. All right. I made this due on Monday because I'm not going to be here and you might have questions, but you got plenty of time to get this done. This shouldn't really terribly take that long, in my opinion. So the first thing that you are going to do is to read this. The purpose of this assignment is to review the functions and significant cell organelles and begin exploring the differences between animals, plant cells, and prokaryote cells. We kind of already briefly talked about it, but we're going to dive more in depth. All right, so you need to use the cell anatomy viewer to complete the document above. You will need to use the play section under Explore. So when you click on this, it pulls up. Well, let me just go. When you click on this, it is going to open up a new tab and check that out. It said you need to make sure to use the play section. Use the play section under Explore. So use the play section under Explore. All right, and here we go. The couple different things you can use, and you're gonna need to know this to complete the Word doc associated with it right here. Okay, and I'll go over that in a second. But a couple things you need to know is you can switch between plant cells, fungi cells, bacteria, and I'm going to explain what this inspect is. So right now, I'm looking at a plant cell, okay? When this inspect button is on, so right now, see how there's orange around it. When the inspect button is on, when I click on an organelle or an area, it pulls over some information over here, okay? If the inspect button is off, it doesn't do anything. It allows you to kind of just move and sort of drag it around, okay? So if you want to know what organelles does what, you need to make sure the inspect button is clicked. So you can use that as well. So like I said, you can go to plant. The inspect button is on. You can click on the different organelles and it pulls them all over there, okay? You might need to zoom in a couple spots, and in order to do that, you unclick inspect, move it, and you click the zoom in button. Let's say, okay, I didn't want to look up here, I want to look down. Once again, you need to make sure that this is off, and you can move down, you can pan it around, and then when you click inspect again, you can really zoom in on an organelle that you want, or zoom back out. But remember, make sure you need to have that inspect button selected so it pulls up what it is, okay? So we are going to do the first one kind of together. I wrote in what an analogy is. Analogy is a comparison between two things. So for example, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Or I said power plant, okay? That's just an example, and that's what you can use for mitochondria. But I'm going to do the first one with you, and I already have it here. So the organ is a nucleus. Maybe you know what the nucleus is, maybe you don't. But let's just go to animal cell, and hey, is this a nucleus? No, that's not a nucleus. That's not it. Oh, hey, check this out. I found the nucleus. What you need to do then is give the function of the nucleus, okay? So put down, you need to, copy down exactly what it says. The nucleus is a control center of the cell. Boom. Nucleus is control center of the cell. The next part right here, you need to put an X next to it if it's in a plant cell and an animal cell. So we have animal cell selected. Boom, it's nucleus. Let's go to plant. Hey, check that out. It is in both. So I'm going to put an X next to both, all right? Some of these are just strictly found in an animal cell or a plant cell. So make sure you put an X next to that. I need the function and job of all these, and I need the role in the cell as an analogy as well. I want you to also put in, can you remember the major differences between a planimal and ant cell? There's probably a couple more that are going to be in here. Make sure you use those, but we talked about those before. You also need to go to bacteria. So remember, we can switch over to bacteria as well. And we turn off inspect. We can move it around. We can zoom in. We turn inspect back on. And hey, that's what this is. That's what that is. You know, it sort of selects, okay, that's the capsule. All right, so you need to do all those for the bacteria. And then the analysis right here. What are the noticeable differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes? And I want you to create an analogy comparing the two. So that is the assignment. It should be pretty self-explanatory. Make sure you get that turned in when you're done. All right, so remember, in order to get to that doc, here's the doc down here. I'll show you where it was. So if you click on this, I already had it pulled up, but then you just open it up, and it was the same exact doc that we were looking at. But it's not going to let me share it. But that is where I got that doc. All right, so there it is. Get that done. Don't be a turd, and you won't have to do extra work.